I think that I think that every discipline needs to speak more than just to the fact that it's accounting, more than the fact that it's just finance strategy, more than the fact that it's just a marketing ploy, more to the fact that it is other than computer scheduling. You have to do the right thing for the right reasons, and I don't think there's any excuse for it, any otherwise. And I think we've a given reason for the world to believe that they got to be very careful about doing business in America.
So what do we do then?
Well, we just got to start everybody starts in his own ball game every day. Do the right thing, do it for the right reasons, and be sure that this word transparency, I didn't know there was such a word, but suddenly now it is the word. Well, you can't have total transparency in everything because there's too much of it that's trade secrets and such as that. But if I'm dealing with you and you're dealing with me, you should be comfortable in what you're doing with me, and I should be comfortable in what I'm doing with you. And there shouldn't be any question about it. I've been in the oil business for about 40 years. Run an exploration company headquartered in Houston. We drill about 80 wells a year. Let me put it another way. We drill about 80 holes a year. Fortunately, most of them are wells. But I was at a conference 25 years ago in Houston, and one of the well-known oil men in Houston was talking with this group, and we're just trading jokes back and forth, and somebody said, "Well, Fred, why are you getting out of the oil business?" And he said, "Well, because the oil business changed. We no longer can live by a handshake. We have to have 29 pages of contracts and 29 pages explaining the contracts." And he said, "I'm not interested in that." And I never did forget it because what he was saying was essentially true. But that's not necessary. That shouldn't be, and we have to see that our people that are going to school at the University of Texas all understand that we win by playing by the rules, but we're going to beat you. And we'll tell you straight up we're going to beat you, but we'll do it the right way.
You're confident that can happen? That can turn around?
Oh, I think it's happening every day. It's kind of like the old story about the one apple in the apple barrel ruins all the other apples. Well, if you leave that apple in there, it will. But I think that most directors understand what their responsibilities are to these companies, and I think management has to understand that they work for the directors. I think there's another thing that's obscene about business in America. I think that the pay that goes to CEOs is obscene. Now, I'm a guy that I'm a business. Government leave business alone. We can take care of ourselves, but I think it's obscene, and I would never want to be a part of it. I've only been a part of building one big international company, and that was Clear Channel Communication, which primarily were in radio and outdoor billboards. And our executives got paid a lot of money, but they produced a lot, and I never did think we ever got into these obscene kind of numbers. But if there's anyone in a company that is entitled to a lot of pay, say more so than what people would think, it's somebody who's doing the production. If you're a salesman and you're producing more, you might be entitled to a lot more, but not the CEO. If you're a guy working on the line and you can do 3 times as many pieces as the other guys on the line, you might be entitled to 3 times more, but not the CEO. I think the CEO's role is vastly overrated.
Do you think government has a role in limiting that kind of compensation?
I think they have to have, but I wish they didn't. They shouldn't have to have.
But you've come to that point.
Yes, and I think it's a terrible mark on our leadership in America. That shouldn't be necessary. But at any rate, those generally those things that get out of whack don't last too long. I've got a friend that is a very public person who's going through a terrible thing in his life right now because he's such a public person, and his whole life is being exposed. A lot of it unfairly, I think, and untruthful and all. And I try to caution with him. Those guys are having their day, but they won't win. Those bad guys don't ever win because they trip up. Do the right thing, and you'll be all right.
Well, I don't want to belabor this issue, but I've heard you say several times the words "the right thing." Yeah, what is the right thing?
I think we all have that little inner clock that tells you. I may be wrong about that, but I really kind of believe that people do know the right thing. I've debated that with people at times that say that's not true, that they don't know, that they got to be told everything as to where it's right and what's wrong. I have a little problem with that.
Well, that presumes somebody knows to tell them.
Yeah. Right, and that's not just true. You can't presume that either.
But you're talking about conscience.
Yes, right. And we can have differences of opinions. I think we should have differences of opinions. We can get angry with each other. That's all right. But at the end of the day, we've got to do the right thing for the right reasons. And I think that 99% of the times it's done that way.
Which brings us to your gift 10 years ago, your continued involvement in
Right.
the school, your presence here today. Let's just say for the moment that all of that is the right thing. What are the right reasons that are behind it?
Well, the reasons are to give our students a better opportunity. There are a lot of people who measure what the schools should be and how you get there and such. My measurement of the school is different than academia's measurement. My measurement is that the young person that comes and gives us themselves for 4 to 6 years here, we owe it to that person to have that person so prepared when he leaves here that he has his choice of jobs. We're not there yet. These ratings and such, I like all those things too. I like ratings. I like people to be measured. But basically, I will say we have arrived at the McCombs School when every graduate can walk across that stage and say, I have my choice of more than one place, and I chose to go here or go there. And I have others who look at our product being our students, and say, that's what I want in my business. This is the person I want in my business.
And what lies between today and that day?
We just have to get better at it. We're not there.
More money?
Not necessarily. The interesting thing is that most successful people don't get successful because of more money. They get successful because of being better at what they do. And money just comes along with the package. We have a proud group of students that will be graduating here. Most of them have good jobs to go to, but not 100%. And I think that's our job. They've given us that time here, and if we haven't put them in a position to where they have those options at jobs, well, then we still got work to do.